Very good morning to all of you. Welcome to Gyanmajari Vidyapith Mahuva online digital platform. As you know, I am your science teacher Vatsal Trivedi. Today we are discussed about the reproduction in animals or organisms. So today, before we start today's topic, let us solve one practice question number. So here, the practice question number 9.2 on your SB14 is the parent hydra different from the offspring? So the answer is no, the parent hydra is not different from its offspring because the offspring is completely identical to the parent as it is produced through the budding, which is from a sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, the offspring is a product by only the one parent. Hence, it has the same genetic information stored in the nuclei of the cell as in the nuclei of the cell of the parent. Therefore, the characteristic pass on from only one parent, thus the making of offspring identical to the parent. Okay. Now let us start the sexual reproduction in this chapter. In a sexual reproduction, an offspring is produced from the two parents, a male and female. So we have in a sexual production, there is a one male or one female, then the offspring is called children. For an example, mummy, papa and you. ओके सो ये हम लोग जो हमारा जो रिप्रोडक्शन सिस्टम होता है वो क्या होता है सेक्सुअल. तो यहाँ पे सिंगल पेरेंट नहीं मिलेंगे, यहाँ पे टू पेरेंट्स के साथ ऑफस्प्रिंग हमको मिलेंगे. यहाँ पे एक मेल एक फीमेल और उसमें से एक हमको ऑफस्प्रिंग मिलेगी. As we have learned, in many organisms reproduce through the process of sexual reproduction. For an example, in monkeys, of offspring is produced by the male and female monkey. Same it is in elephant. The offspring is produced by the male and female elephant. The process of sexual reproduction happens in the 4 stage. तो 4 स्टेज के अंदर होता है. फर्स्ट प्रोडक्शन ऑफ गीमेट्स, पहले गीमेट्स का प्रोडक्शन होगा, देन उसका फर्टिलाइजेशन होगा, देन डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द एम्ब्रियो, देन लास्ट द बर्थ ऑफ द ऑफस्प्रिंग. वी कैन से दैट it is a baby in a human beings. Okay. So the first stage is the production of the male and female gametes. So male and female gametes are the reproductive cells of an organisms. They are produced in the reproductive organs. So here in a male there is a woman reproductive organ that you are seen in this image, and the second image is a woman female reproductive organ. The male gamete is the reproductive cell produced by the male parent. It is known as a sperm. So by use of in a male gamete or in a woman male, there is a reproductive cell. It is called the male gamete, जिसको हम बोलेंगे sperm. So male के अंदर sperm secretes होता है. Then in the female gamete, it is a reproductive cell produced by the female parent. It is known as a ovum. So ovum के अंदर ovum जो है वो female gametes है और sperm है वो male gametes है. Which parent produce the female reproductive cell? Ovum, male elephant or female elephant? So your answer is the female elephant produce the ovum or a female reproductive cell. Next is the fertilization. After the production of the gametes, the male and female gametes fuse together to form of the zygote. दोनों कंबाइन होके मेल और फीमेल गीमेट्स को जब वो कंबाइन होते हैं तब उसमें से एक जाइगोट फॉर्मेशन होता है. इट इज कॉल्ड द फर्टिलाइजेशन प्रोसेस. So the sperms approach the ovum, then the sperms are enter in the ovum, then the sperm fertilize the ovum to the form of zygote. So यहाँ पे आप फिगर के अंदर देख सकते हैं ये स्पर्म है, ये ओवम के साथ अंदर आ रहा है. यहाँ पे वो उसके आने के बाद यहाँ पे ये दोनों एक zygote formation यहाँ पे बनता है. So it is called the fertilization. The zygote is also a single cell and it is a zygote that develops the form of the offspring. Now, how is the zygote as a single cell when it is formed through the fusion of two cells and sperm and an ovum? When the sperm and ovum fuse, their nuclei fuse together form of the one single nucleus. Thus, the resulting zygote is a single cell with a one nucleus. Then, an offspring produced through the sexual reproduction inherits some characteristic from the mother and some characteristic of father. Why is it so? So zygote में से जब offspring बनता है तब during the fertilization the nuclei of the male and the female parent fuse together. So the zygote thus the formed in the contains of genetic information of both of the parents. So that's why the zygote develops in the offspring that inherits some characteristic from the mothers and the father. So जो कुछ भी डिस्कस किया वो मैंने ऐसे समराइज यहाँ पे आपको दिखा दिया है. So please read. Now the next is the types of fertilization. So there is a two types of fertilization: internal fertilization and external fertilization. What do the two terms selected above mean? So the male and female gametes fuse inside the body of the parent, mostly in females, and the male and female gametes fuse outside of the body of parent. For an example, the fusion of the gametes and hence the formation of zygote occurs inside the body of organism. So the fusion of sperm and the ovum. Next, internal fertilization takes place in many organisms like goats, ants, women and some aquatic animals. The most of organisms internal fertilization take place inside the female's body. Seahorses are an interesting exception in which the female parent release ovum in the male body whereas the sperm is fertilization. तो ये सी और से वो उसके जो फीमेल होती है वो क्या करता है, वो अपना ओवम है वो मेल बॉडी के अंदर रिलीज कर देती है और मेल बॉडी के स्पर्म के साथ वो फर्टिलाइज करके जो सी हॉर्स है उसके अंदर मेल जो है वो ऑफस्प्रिंग बनाएगा. The fusion of the gametes take place outside in organisms. The formation of zygote take place outside of the body of the organisms like a frog. The female lays hundreds of the eggs and the male releases hundreds of sperms and some of these swims in the eggs and fuse from the zygotes outside of the body of the organism. यानी कि frogs eggs के अंदर ये process हमको दिखती है. External fertilization दिखता है. External fertilization take place in organisms like starfish and frogs. It is a very common and aquatic organisms. Why do organisms that fertilize externally release by the many eggs and sperms? Ova and sperms you can see here in aquatic animals. Why do organisms fertilize externally release in many eggs and sperms? So organisms that fertilize externally release and the many eggs and the sperms to increase the chances of fertilization and survival of the offspring, because the water movement, wind and rainfall can damage the eggs and the sperm. ये चीज उसको डैमेज कर सकती है. They face the competition for the resources and the other animals can they feed on them. So now let us summarize there are two types of fertilization that we are already discussed, internal and external. So दोनों के अंदर क्या क्या चेंजेस हो रहा है यहाँ पे हमने जो बात की वो एज ए समराइज मैंने आप सबको यहाँ पे दिखा दी है. So you have to write and memorize this whole topic. So students, today we are stop here. The question and the practice question number that we are solved in this video, you have to write in your fair book with the proper handwriting and specially submit your homework within a 3 o'clock on a day. Okay, so it is a compulsory to all of you. So जो भी क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे है वो आप सबको लिख कर फोटोग्राफ्स क्लिक करके सबमिट करना है एज होमवर्क. So now we are stop here. If any types of doubt, please ask me. I will definitely solve your doubt. So now stay happy, stay home. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Take care. Fun with science. Enjoy the science.